Hello, 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 each of you. Hello, how are you? How are you? Praying that all is well. Listen to me. Just come on in just for a moment. Just want to share some things with you that I believe is going to motivate you, stimulate you, have you look at things in a total different light. Everyone come on. Everyone come on. It's Thursday. It's Level Up Thursday. Let's get ready to get into it. Let's get it. As you're coming on, I'm asking everyone, let's make sure that you tag, share, and invite. Tag, share, and invite. Invite someone. Invite someone. Come on. Good to see each of you that are coming on. Each of you that are tuning in with me. Once again, tag, share, and invite. Tag, share, and invite. Got some things I want to share with you on today that once again I truly believe is going to be a blessing to you. We're getting ready to go on in. We're getting ready to go on in. Getting ready to go on in. Good afternoon to each of you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Don't be afraid to send your hearts, your emojis, your thumb up, all of you above. Don't be afraid to send any of that. Hello to each of you. Hello, hello. Each of you all coming on. Hello, Saki. Hello, what's going on, girl? Love you. Amanda, hello. Good afternoon to each of you that are coming on. Tag, share, and invite. Tag, share, and invite. Got something I want to share with you. Sarita Holloway, good to see you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I pray that everyone's day is going well. Just being honest, what's going on. Good to see each and every one of you. Once again, Kiki, hello. Sister Rose, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Don't be afraid to send your thumbs up. Brother Joe, Sister Viv, praying all is well. Praying all is well with you all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Afternoon. Brother Joe, tell your mom I said thank you. Very touching. Thank you so much. You know what I'm talking about. Kiara, all of you all, Talithia, all of you all that are coming on. Good afternoon. We're getting ready to go in. Getting ready to go on. Go on in. Getting ready to go on in. Getting ready to go on in. All right, today we're going to talk about something, and once again, I truly believe is going to bless you. I say this all the time, but before we even go there, it's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the only time that the hands are what? Straight up. Go ahead and do me a favor. Lift those hands up. Lift those hands up. Tell God, thank you. You owe it to him. You owe it to him. Lift those hands up. Tell God, thank you. Tell him, thank you. Tell him, thank you. He woke you up this morning, started you on your way, clothed you in your right mind, gave you use and activities of all of your limbs, so you owe it to him. Sister Jackie, good to see you. You owe it to him. Lift those hands up. Tell him thank you. Everything that wasn't going right is getting right now. Everything that wasn't. Bishop, love you. Bishop, I love you. I love you, my bishop. We truly thank God once again for each and every one of you all that are tuning in, that are coming on, that are coming in. Truly thank you. Thank you. Let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go. Move. Not going to be on long, but I'm asking each of you, as you're tuning in, as I always say, let's make sure that you tag, share, and invite 10 people, okay? Just want to encourage you once again on this this Thursday, which is the Level Up Thursday, 12 o'clock, only time the hands are straight up. Today we're going to deal with, just want to talk about briefly just for a moment, want to share this with you. Do you have honey? Do you have honey? Jennifer, good seeing you. Good afternoon. Good seeing each and every one of you. Don't be afraid to send your emojis, your thumbs up. Don't be afraid to send that. Do you have honey? Do you have honey? We're dealing with a series at church entitled Cycles. Entitled Cycles. I picked it up, continuing a series rather, because it started at Holy Convocation. Awesome time. Awesome, man. Awesome. 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 I mean, it was awesome. We was being taught, we was being coached, poured into, man, it was awesome. But we're doing a series entitled Cycles, and many of us are dealing with those. We find ourselves in cycles and not even know that we're in them. We're in a cycle. And some of the cycles, you must understand that, and I said this on Tuesday, cycles, the world is governed by cycles. perpetual motion, things going. That's why we have the seasons. That's why we have different things growing, plants, all the way that it actually does. But I'm talking about cycles that we're in that we don't know that we're in, and they're slowly killing us. But anyway, when we left Bible Enrichment on Tuesday, I had to go to a store. The store that I went to, Dollar General, went there looking for one thing, but it wasn't there. So I said, you know what? I'm going home. As soon as I get on the interstate, head home, got off on my exit. I was about to make the right to get ready to turn to head to my house. The Spirit of God spoke to me just as plain. Go to the other Dollar General. So I turned left, went to the other Dollar General. Hello, Wanda. Good to see you, Pam. Good to see you. When I went to the other Dollar General, I went in looking for something as well. I was looking for this particular item. But once I got in there, Jeremy, good to see you. Or once I got in, they didn't have it either. I'm like, okay, why did I come here? So here it is. I did pick up something. I picked up some milk, blah, 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 all of that. It's not necessary. Anyway, I picked it up. Terry, good to see you. I picked it up, got the milk, got in line, and God dropped in my spirit, pay attention. Pay attention. I said, okay. I'm standing in line. We had a few customers in front of me. There was a young lady that walks in. She walks in, and I don't know what was going on with her. I don't know what was to her heart. I don't know what was to her mind. She comes in, and she was very abrupt, and talking loud. She was talking very loud, and seemingly like that she was either on something, coming off of something, or something was wrong mentally. And the Spirit of God kept saying, pay attention. She goes to get one thing. She picked up this case of candy, this whole tray of candy. Listen to me, it's going to get good. She picks up this whole tray of candy, this whole tray. Good, bless you too, bro. This tray of candy. She comes to the counter, and she says, she asked one of the young men. It was a young man, young boy, and an adult lady. Okay, she asked the young man, I need to know how much of this whole case is going to cost me. The young man said, we're going to have to ring it up individually. She says, you can't just give me a case price. He says, no, ma'am. Once again, we're going to have to ring up each piece of candy that's in the box, that's in that case. She gets upset. Well, I just want you to tell me this. Tell me what it is. I want you to, the young man said this again. Ma'am, we're going to have to, good to see you, Pastor. We're going to have to ring each piece of candy up individually and then give you a price. She gets upset. She was upset. You can tell it was boiling in her. It was boiling in her. She was turning red. I'm looking at her at the corner of my eye. I'm like, Lord, I pray nothing ain't about to go down, nothing about to pop. I'm fresh out of church, praying nothing ain't about to go down, But I was prepared just in case. She takes the candy back, throws it on the shelf. Throws the candy on the shelf. Here we go. Throws it on the shelf. She picks up something else, come back. I just need to know something because it seemed like you all don't want to help me. I'm a customer. I'm XYZ. I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm all of the above. The young man shares with her again, ma'am, we can give you a price, but we have to scan it. This wasn't the candy. This was totally different, something else. She's making a scene. She says to the young man, I asked you so-and-so earlier, and you didn't give me an answer. The young man, I apologize. The young man says, that's not what I said. I gave you an answer. I told you that when you had the candy, we're going to have to ring each one up individually to give you a price. She says, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. I see the tension begins to get thick. The Spirit of God say, pay attention. The young man gets upset. The girl is upset. The young man walks outside. He just walks outside. Lady C, good to see you, love you. He walks outside. Watch this. It was better for him to walk outside than to stay in and continue to transfer words with this individual that could have cost him his job. So what he did, he leaves. Walks out of the store. That's what I'm talking about. Walks out of the store. Now, it's no longer the young man that's talking to the lady. It's the female, the lady cashier that's talking to the customer now. And the lady that works there, the cashier, she said something that blew my mind. Because the lady was getting upset with her as well. Slamming stuff on the counter. She went and picked up, I think, a bag of chips. She had some people out in the car. The customer had a husband, whoever it was, in the car. But listen to me good. Listen to me. Blew my mind, man. Messed me up. Messed me up. Square, what's going on, Jay? Love you, man. She gets to whatever it was she had, puts it on the counter. The lady rings it up. She rings it up. She says, okay, I want to get this. She had a card. Had a little card. Credit card, whatever it was. She says, the lady asked her, how are you going to pay? She said, I'm paying with this card. You see it in my hand. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. So the God said, just pay attention. Just pay attention. I'm looking. She gets the card. She says, I'm paying with the card. She puts it on the card where you sticks it in at, the actual machine where you pay it at. She gets the card and just lays it up there. She says, all I have to do at other stores is just lay my card on there and it takes it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It'll go ahead and pay for it. The lady tells her, which is the cashier, the female cashier, she tells her, evidently, ma'am, if you want me to do it, you might be doing something wrong. Just take your time. The lady didn't raise her voice. This is the cashier. She didn't raise her voice, didn't do any of the above. The young lady, the customer, gets upset. I know what I'm doing. This is my card on the hand, blah, 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 blah. I'm tripping. Y'all with me. Y'all tripping. It's going to make sense after a while. She says, ma'am, if you don't mind, the cashier says, I'll do it for you. She says, sure. Sure. Soon as she gets around there and handed her card, she says, I don't want you touching my card. I can do it. Just tell me what I need to do. The lady says, okay, I just want to help. She says, I just want to help you. Good to see you, Pastor Harris. She says, I just want to help you. The customer gets upset, very irate, man. She's so irate. She's going in. But the cashier says something. After she finishes, the actual customer got the card to work. She gets the stuff, snatches her stuff off of the counter, right? Leaves out of the store, goes to the car. Evidently, her husband says something to her. He says something to her. He act like, watch this. He act like he was going to get out the car and come inside the store. I'm really tripping. I'm like, oh God, here we go. He headed toward the door, but he turned around. The cashier never turned and looked out the door to see, even though they was making this noise, she never looked outside or turned around and looked behind her back or any of the above. She kept doing what she had to do to get all the other customers out. When I get to the counter, this was after the customer that was upset, that was, very irate, that was going in. I get to the counter. The first thing that the cashier said to me blew my mind. She says, in order to draw bees, all you have to do is add a little honey. I didn't get it at the moment. Mind blowing. I'm tripping. She says, I said, ma'am, if you don't mind, would you say that again? She says, in order to draw more bees, add just a little bit of honey, a little bit of honey. She says, my great grandmother shared this with me. She says, I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I really love that. That makes sense to me now. I got exactly what you're saying. God began to speak. He said, learn the lesson. She was still talking. The cashier was still speaking. She was talking. She says this, it's about time for me to get off from work. It's about time for us to close the store. I know that if I had went to acting or responding like she was responding, it was going to be a major problem. She says, but knowing who I am, I don't have to stoop when I know where God has already brought me from. My grandmother told me, my great grandmother shared with me, in order to draw more bees, add just a little bit of honey. This is what I want to share with you. The enemy always come after you at the closing of a shift. The enemy will always or sometimes come after you when you are about to come up out of something or when you're about to close, when you're about to walk into a miracle, when you're about to walk into a blessing, when you're about to walk into anything, watch this. Only thing that he wants you to do is to respond the way he desires. And when you respond the way the enemy is responding, you just miss the shift. You just miss the miracle. You just miss your blessing. In other words, the reason a lot of us have not obtained it is because we don't have the honey. While we refuse to use the honey that has been given. Am I making sense to you? In other words, the honey is my tone, my pitch, the conversation, the words that I say. Watch this. I have to make sure that I'm saying it in a way that's not going to aggravate the bees, but it's going to draw the bee in and make them calm down. Watch this. The young man, her husband, the customer's husband, gets to the door. He turns around, goes back to the car, and goes to smiling. I'm like, Lord, what is this? He said, continue to pay attention. He says this right here to me. The Spirit of God spoke just as, vividly. He spoke. He says, this is what I want you to see. This is why I brought you here. Where you're headed, where I'm taking you, where I'm taking what's connected to you, has to respond the correct way. All you have to do is add just a little bit of honey. When one is mad, y'all know. When one is mad, when one is very irate, don't get irate with them. Because you never know if the miracle, the blessing, the thing that you done prayed about, the thing that you have been asking God for, am I making sense to you? The thing that you have been asking God for is tied up in the midst of what you are about to encounter. So we have to be very specific. We have to be very wise. We have to see beyond what the enemy is trying to present. Don't allow what someone else is doing to alter what you need to say or cause your conversation to twist. In order to get out of a cycle, you have to add a little bit of honey. Recognize where you are. See the tactics. See the schemes. See the things of the enemy. See what he is doing. But don't respond the way he's desiring. I want to tell you this before I go. There's so much that God has in store for you. But only thing that he's asking you today, do you have honey? Do you have honey? Can you control your tone, your speech, your attitude, your temperature? Can you control it when a heated situation arises? Can you control it? Because once again, what you're looking for is sometimes caught up in confusion. And if you get confused with the confusion, you just miss the miracle. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes what you're looking for is caught up in confusion. But if you get confused with the confusion, you just miss what God had in store for you. So now you have to wait. You're back in that cycle. You're back in that same cycle and wondering, watch this, Lord, when you going to bring me out? And this is what God is saying. Your timing is up to you. How are you responding? I made the way. You messed it up. So make up in your mind, whatever, watch this, whatever knocked you off your square before, don't allow it to knock you off your square again. Whatever made you came at you in the wrong way and you responded wrong, don't allow that to happen again. Pay attention to your tone, your texture, your temper. Pay attention to all of that. Do you have honey? All right. Do you have honey? We can say we have it, but when we're in a situations, in other words, will bring out what's really in you. Do you have honey? The lady, the cashier in the store, blessed me tremendously. She blessed me and made me look at stuff in a total different way. The enemy, we know that he comes to do three things: to kill, steal, and destroy. Don't allow him to take that. Don't allow him to take that. But Jesus Christ said, but I've come that you may have life, and that you may have it what? More abundantly. But in order to get to that more life and more abundantly, you have to recognize what the enemy is and know that there's a promise hooked on the back of the confusion. Be encouraged. You got this. Do you have honey? Do you have honey? Pay attention to your word. Your promotion, watch this, is predicated upon what you're about to do. Are you going to apply honey to draw the bees? Just because they're not working with you, just because they're coming against you, just because it seems like things are working not in your favor, you don't act like that. Add just a little honey to draw the bees. Through loving kindness have I drawn them. Am I making sense to you? Two people arguing don't create nothing but a mess. But it take one to argue and stand there and look like a fool while the other one have peace. Just apply honey. That's all you have to do. And I pray that I have said something on today that has encouraged you to look at life in a total different way. In a total different way. Just a little bit of honey will draw more bees. You're about to come up out of what you're in. The cycle is broken, but it's predicated upon your words, your temperature, the texture, the tone, all of the above. Do you have honey? You can't ask no one else if you haven't. Check yourself. Check yourself. Check yourself. See the areas that made you fail, that you failed in. And master that area now to get everything that God has for you. There's so much in store, but you have to line up. Be encouraged. Stay tuned. Check your honey. Check your honey. Check your honey. Why? Because bees are going to come. And if bees, watch this, don't have something to gravitate to, they'll bite you. And when the bee bite, it hurts. Am I making sense to you? But make sure whenever the bee shows up, you have honey. Do you have honey? Be encouraged. Stay tuned, man. Woo! You've come too far to allow your words, to allow your conversation to mess you up. Pay attention to what you're saying. Love each and every one of you, man. If I said something today that encouraged anybody, my Cash App is on the screen. $H channel 3. If I said anything that bless you on today, once again, my Cash App is on the screen. $H channel 3. You all be encouraged. You got this. Today is Thursday. Week's going by fast. Pay attention to what your words, what you're saying. Sometime all it takes coming out of your cycle, to come out of your cycle, is to change your conversation. Pay attention to your words. Watch what you're saying. Because words have power. Am I making sense? Two people arguing makes bees get mad. Make up in your mind, I'm not going to get bit anymore. It hurts. So I'm going to make sure I respond. Be encouraged. Until then, man, y'all do what it do. Y'all know it's Thursday. Love each and every one of you all. Look forward to seeing you all next week. Unless the Spirit of God say something totally different. Bishop, love you dearly. My heart, love you, man. Love you. My sisters and brothers that are on here now, good Lord, all of you all, man. Bless all of you all that are on here. Harris, Latoya, all of you all that are here. I thank God for each and every one of you all. Asking you the question before we go. Do you have honey? Be encouraged. Until next week, y'all make it do what it do. I gotta go. Sorry. Bye. Love you. Deuces, man. Y'all be encouraged.